Hello and welcome to Insurance Mantra, your weekly guide to the world of insurance, only on ET Now. In today's Leadership Insight, we explore the role of reinsurance and why it is so important for the future of India's insurance sector. How can technology improve access and affordability? How do we build greater trust, and what will it take to achieve the vision of insurance for all by 2047? To discuss this, I am joined by very special guest in our studio, Mr. Sunil Sharma, Chief Executive Officer of RGA India. Thank you so much, sir, for joining our Insurance Mantra show.
Thank you, Anurag. It's my pleasure to be here with you.
Sir, do you think that in present global world order, the role of reinsurance has increased manifold?
Anurag, it's very interesting questions. Reinsurers, earlier they used to be seen as only provider of the capital, more capacity providers. But the role has increased manifold in the sense that, as the insurance companies are growing, they are growing beyond the cities, beyond the towns, and therefore the whole insurance offering is becoming much more complex. So the reinsurers are coming early in the stage in terms of working with the insurance companies in providing solutions, which products are suitable for which of the clients, and the mortality of the socioeconomic profiles. How do you manage the risk? How do you do the onboarding of the customers? And the entire risk management gamut. So the reinsurers play a significant role now than just being a capacity provider.
Okay, so other than capacity provider, which would be the three top important support by reinsurers to insurance industry, and that eventually goes to the overall economy also?
Correct. So I would say, if you want me to mention three, I would say the first one is obviously the work with the product development team to design the products. Two is risk management, because reinsurer actually takes a larger risks on their balance sheet, helps insurance companies to really write more and more business without having to worry about the capital. It absorbs the volatility of the claim experience significantly, and really helps in terms of onboarding of the customers, making it seamless, resistance-free onboarding journey for the customers.
Okay. But sir, public at large still don't understand the reinsurance market. Do you agree with my point?
Yeah, no, I think I agree. I think reinsurers are not so visibly. When I introduce myself, I'm the CEO for RGA. People don't know. But I think
the RGA is a very big reinsurance company, in the world-known reinsurance company.
Correct, Anurag. RGA is the world's largest life and health reinsurer, presence in across the world. We are in India for the last 2.5 decades. That's when the industry was privatized. So if you look at the reinsurers, if I were to simplify that for people at large, I would say reinsurance are, they insure the insurance companies.
Yes, sir.
Like insurance companies insure the public. The reinsurers insure the insurance companies. And you could actually, kind of look at one simple example of, for example, the insurance companies. There's a family which has got umbrella. And the insurance company really protecting the family against the rain, but reinsurer is actually protecting the insurance companies against large volatile or bad weather leading to larger claims, etc. So we are in the background. You can consider reinsurers as the specialized engineers sitting behind the scene, which is ensuring that the whole mechanics, the whole ecosystem remains very, very strong.
So presently, what kind of challenges reinsurers are facing in changing world order?
No, I think the reinsurers, if you look at the latest, Anurag, I think it's, let's say, for example, Middle East war situations. These are some of the situations wherein there could be large claim events happening just, by one single event. So war is a major issue that I would see, I think, the reinsurers are facing as a challenge across the world. But otherwise, I think over a period, the reinsurers, particularly the life and health side, I think we have built a large amount of data, in terms of the mortality, varying by the socioeconomic profile. We consider as one of the, our key strength is the biometric risks, which would mean the mortality and the morbidity risks. So I think, I would say, I think the war is perhaps one of the main challenges. Obviously, the pandemic is over now. That was one of the key risks, but I think war perhaps is one of the challenges.
After pandemic, we have seen a great shift in health insurance segment, which has grown, if I talk about India, manifold. Manifold as in previously in Indian non-life insurance market, share used to be around 28, 29. Now it's more than 40%. But that has not happened in case of life insurance. So according to your experience, why life insurance is still lacking? Because you support or you provide reinsurance support to life insurers.
Correct. No, I think if you look at insurance in India, I think the awareness is very low. Even you will be surprised that if you actually do a survey of even your office, Anurag, you will find out that people are, you get the educated class in the office, you would find out that a majority of the people are heavily underinsured. One of the surveys that I looked at suggested that close to the extent of underinsurance in India is around 90%. So I think that's a major issue here. I think we need to really increase the awareness about what role that insurance play in the lives of people in terms of protecting them. Health insurance, actually, if you look at, if you differentiate between health and life, health insurance could provide you, could protect you against your saving, for example. Somebody falls critically ill and get hospitalized, then your savings get utilized. You can save savings and the claim can be taken care of by the Mediclaim policy, for example. But in mortality, I think it provides the protection to the family against any unforeseen consequences. In India, there is only a single bread earner in the family. Most of the families have one single person. If the single person doesn't come back home one of the days, unfortunately, there's nobody to really pay for the future expenses, children education, EMI of the home, the car loans, and all that. So I think insurance is very, very important.
So when we talk to life insurer, they keep saying that for this product, we don't get reinsurance support. For a pure protection term insurance, we don't get reinsurance support. So for Indian market, sir, do you agree with the concerns of life insurance companies that there is no proper reinsurance support to price the pure protection products?
Not really. I disagree with that. I think that there is no dearth of reinsurance support as of now. We are out there in the market. Obviously, you will have to make sure that you price the product in line with the emerging mortality experience, etc. So I think it's more to do with the at what price is the reinsurance available versus at what price we intend to do. But it's important really to price, because these are very, very long-term products, Anurag. You're offering the life insurance for the next 25, 30, 40 years, and therefore it is important that you get into a partnership model. And the way we in RG India works is we work in the partnership model with the target, what sort of target market, what distribution channel, what sort of socioeconomic profile of the people is, and we do have a large amount of experience for each of the socioeconomic profile to really work with the insurance company to help them grow and grow sustainably.
Okay, so now I'll move to my leadership rapid fire segments, and you have to answer these questions spontaneously. Shall I start?
Yes, Anurag.
Reinsurance, India's best kept insurance secret or industry's strongest backbone?
No, I think it's the industry is the strongest backbone, because we take the whole volatility on our books.
Can India achieve insurance for all by 2047 without a much stronger reinsurance ecosystem?
I think not, because the whole insurance for all required a lot of capital, and then reinsurers in the background provide all that growth capital. So I think it's possible with reinsurance.
Will reinsurance make life insurance more affordable in coming years?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, we are working with the insurance companies and making it more affordable. I think few things that we would like to take out is, like, for example, if we can reduce the frauds, the leakage and all of that, insurance can become cheaper.
One insurance reform that could immediately strengthen India's reinsurance market.
That's a wonderful question. I think the one critical thing that India requires on the reinsurance is, I think, financial solutions. For example, insurance companies are sitting on a large amount of assets which will unwind in future, and they can get the credit for that by reinsuring that portion, which can be utilized to grow the new business. So I think reforms on the financial solutions.
Should India aspire to become a global reinsurance hub like Singapore or Dubai?
Oh, absolutely. I think India has the capability really to do that. There's a good beginning that has been made in the GIFT City. And yes, it can really become the hub like any other reinsurance hubs.
Are reinsurers today just risk carrier or strategic partner for insurers?
Strategic partners. I think it's not just the risk carriers. I think that's history, but it's actually participates in terms of strategy, designing the products, and participating and helping insurance company in the whole onboarding process by giving them all the digital tools that they can utilize.
Can AI and technology make insurance simpler, faster, and more affordable?
Yeah, absolutely, yes. AI is enabler, and it can be and is being used by the insurance companies very widely. Yes, it can make.
Are reinsurance rates finally stabilizing after years of volatility?
Yes, it is. I think there's a lot of credible experience has emerged, and the current reinsurance premiums are based on the experience that has come.
One biggest myth people have about reinsurance.
I think biggest myth that reinsurers have is that reinsurers only cover the large risks, but I think we do participate in the entire journey, and therefore it's just not the large risks. We are a partner.
My last question: If you were not in insurance industry, which industry would you have chosen?
Oh, that's an interesting question. Well, actually, only few people know that I'm actually masters in science and specialized in electronics, apart from being an actuary. So, well, I would have been a scientist.
Okay. So my final question to you, what would be your message, your insurance mantra for our viewers?
No, I think the insurance mantra, I would say, I think, Anurag, congratulations to you. You've been doing a fantastic job on this. I think for the people at large, I think I would say insurance protection is to protect your family against the unforeseen circumstances. Anything can happen to anybody. There is no alternative to insurance. We must buy insurance to make sure that our family is able to live when we are not there. And really protect the well-being of our family, to repay the loans, to pay the EMIs, to pay the home loans, to really, for the expenses of our dependents when we are not there. So I think my message is buy insurance, be confident, don't buy insurance because of fear, but make sure for your future financial stability.
Thank you so much, sir, for joining our Insurance Mantra show and sharing your thoughts.
Thank you, Anurag.
So, time for a short break now. After the break, I'll be joined by J.L.N. Sharma, former CEO of Hanover India. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back. After the break, in our Expert Speak segment, I am joined by J.L.N. Sharma, former CEO of Hanover India. With him, we will understand the world of reinsurance. He will decode reinsurance sector for us, how it is strengthening insurers, protecting policyholders, the evolution of India's reinsurance market in last 15 years, and reform needed to make India a global reinsurance hub. Thank you so much, Mr. Sharma, for joining Insurance Mantra show.
Thanks, Sandra.
So, help us understand how in last decade or 15 years, reinsurance market has evolved.
So, reinsurance has been very popular in that context worldwide. As far as India is concerned, there was only one player for many years. However, in 2015, due to the changes in the Insurance Act amendment, the foreign reinsurers are allowed to operate as branches in India. While these players were operating as a cross-border reinsurers so far, Once the legislation allowed these companies to operate as a branch, I think that is like a milestone, I would say, within the Indian reinsurance sector, that quite a number of reinsurance players started with a physical presence in India. And they have been contributing to the development of the insurance sector and the reinsurance sector, and contributing to the growth of the sector.
So, but how FRB is different from a reinsurance company? What are the main two differences between both of them?
Yeah, it's a good question. So, worldwide, the major reinsurers typically operate under the framework of a branch in each country. Of course, there are also other formats, like being a fully subsidiary company of the primary global company in respective countries. There are certain advantages of being a branch operating in each of the country compared to the subsidiary. The main advantage with being a branch is that operationally it is quite simpler, easier to manage from the global office respective branches. Under the economic capital framework or risk-based capital framework from the different countries that they are coming in, there are advantages with a capital framework if they operate as a branch compared to the company. And a company, the main disadvantage is that there would be a lot of governance and the associated compliance-related matters compared to a branch. That's why typically you would find many of the countries, including India, branches being the major operational aspects of the reinsurers.
But now, sir, we have seen that private reinsurance companies are also starting their operation. Recently, 2 companies have started.
That's really a good trend, because while global players have been operating as a branch in India for their operational easiness, the other private sector, so it's actually good that other than the global players are also showing interest in starting operations by opening their own companies within India. And that would actually facilitate in the way that overall sector within the insurance sector, the reinsurance sector, growing further.
Okay. And sir, in reinsurance space, there are specialized reinsurers also, like in insurance side, we see standalone health insurance company, life insurance company, company doing only motor insurance. So are there specialized reinsurers or FRBs?
So within the reinsurance, there are few reinsurers specializing in a mono lines or specific lines into that. For example, there are only life-only reinsurance branches here, because their parent is only a life reinsurer. There are those who are operating on all the lines of business, because their parent themselves they are called composite reinsurers.
Okay.
And there are only into general insurance space, because their parent is also only general insurance. There are also specialists, but I have not seen really specialists in Indian market as such. But out of all the reinsurers that are available, there is very unique entity called Lloyd's of UK, Lloyd's Syndicate. That operational aspects of Lloyd's completely different, though they do the reinsurance business, but the framework under which they operate under the Lloyd's is quite different from the rest of the players. But yes, you have life only, you have general only, you have composite, and the specialist reinsurers like Lloyd's.
And what is this reinsurance treaty, and which kind of treaties are there in reinsurance market?
So typically the forms of, the way the reinsurance is operated, there are primarily there is a treaty reinsurance, there is a facultative reinsurance. In treaty reinsurance, at the beginning of the year for which the cover is being sought, the reinsurer and the insurance company, based on the plans for the next year, they agree on the framework of what all the risks that they would like to place under the treaty at the beginning of the year. So thereafter, any business that comes under those terms, those all gets placed within that treaty. under the facultative, it can happen any time during the year. So particular risk, typically these are all very large risks that get discussed. These risks, on a case-to-case basis, the insurance company requests the reinsurer what are the terms under which this particular risk can be placed. And once that gets agreed, it can happen anytime during the year. Once that gets happened, the risk gets placed. Primarily, these are the two kind of reinsurance structures that you would find in general.
What kind of suggestions you would like to give to regulators or policymakers to strengthen India's reinsurance sector? And do you see a lot of potential there still after the opening up in year 2015? Still there is a long way to go?
Yes, I certainly think reinsurance sector in India is expected to grow a healthy growth in that sense. While the government of India has done, I would say, excellent job in the way first. The first step is allowing the foreign reinsurance branches being under the IRDA framework. After some time, now GIFT City also got formed under the IFSCA framework. There are also offices coming in and doing reinsurance business under the IFSC framework. Now, while that is a very good step from a government point of view, there are a lot need to be done to compete with the similar markets or similar centers like, say, Dubai, London, or Singapore kind of markets. While there has been licensing relaxations, there has been tax concessions. There have also been very simpler processes that being allowed so far by both the regulators. Always there is something new that can be done to make ourselves more competitive with other centers. Primarily, in my view, these are all like alternative source of capital. For example, for catastrophe bonds, and another format called insurance-linked securities, and other forms of reinsurance, which is called financial reinsurance. This financial reinsurance is very specific to life reinsurance space. In addition to the traditionally whatever being followed, I think we have to put effort and bring the other forms of reinsurance that are not really. So what are the challenges?
Because you are giving the suggestion, so what are the present challenges also?
Yes, the present challenges, I mean, this requires very specialist people. You need very qualified actuarial people. You need very strong underwriting skill sets that are available. You need very good catastrophe modeling skills that is typically required to measure your, catastrophe and other pandemic related. We are there. I mean, I don't say we are completely there. We are in the journey of, developing this talent. It takes for some more time to get, because now the GIFT City operations only started just a few months back. I think many reinsurers opening their offices. I'm sure it will take in the near future that these guys would, these players would be in a position to make it competitive within the other centers of the reinsurance.
So my final question to you, sir, what would be your message to our viewers with respect to the reinsurers? A few viewers might be students also who want to come into reinsurance space, or they are exploring opportunities in reinsurance space.
Yeah, that's really good because I enjoy being a reinsurer. I have worked in reinsurance sector. Out of my 30 plus years of experience, half of the term I was in the reinsurance space. It's a really good, if you are very good, analytically good, and you would like to understand how not just Indian market, if you want to get an international exposure in the space and the financial services particularly, I think reinsurance is a very good space where you have the mobility to move across the international globe, and also build a very good career, be it an actuarial, be an underwriter, or be it a data specialist, or even any financial professional.
Thank you so much, sir, for your time and insight. It was a pleasure talking to you. That's a wrap on this edition of Insurance Mantra, but we'll leave you with our insurance basic. Did you know that reinsurance is called insurance for insurance companies when an insurance company takes a very large risk? It transfers part of that risk to a reinsurance company. This helps insurers pay large claims after disasters like floods, earthquake, or cyclones, protect their financial strength, offer higher insurance coverage to customers, grow their businesses with greater confidence. So simply put, you buy insurance from an insurer and insurer buy insurance from a reinsurer. That's the power of reinsurance, the invisible safety net behind every insurance policy. Stay informed, stay protected. That's our insurance mantra.